let's talk about our internal threats. And could you just comment on what our internal threats are, whether it's the far right or the far left, or whether it's apathy of the electorate? What do you see there?
And so I think this is that's really a first world problem. I don't really believe that the left or the right is a threat in and of itself, right? It's this is, I think apathy is certainly a threat. I think extremism can be a threat on the left or right, but that's a pretty small contingency that tend to declare themselves, pretty readily. And so I think those threats are being paid attention to by the appropriate folks. But I think that it's really more of taking responsibility. So for your listeners, right, I would say, would take it down a different path and say, and part of this starts with us movement is just that, to say, okay, I'm not responsible for, some key leader high in the government of what they say or do, what their policy is, or what they're going to enact or not enact, right? That's not going to fall on me. But as it pertains to me, let's wind this back a little bit, right? So do my neighbors, do I know them? Do I know what they're good at? If I had a neighbor having a problem with, something mechanical, for example, do I know who the good mechanic is in the neighborhood that we could help solve this problem? So is there maybe some elderly people in my neighborhood that we need to make sure are taken care of, right? And so I think that in this responsibility theme, it's worthy of our time to just stop, pause, look around, and say, well, rather than just throwing our hands up and saying, well, the government should do that, right? What is our responsibility in caring for one another, meeting each other's needs, standing in the gap, protecting the vulnerable, feeding the hungry, whatever that is, right? So, and do my neighbors know that they can count on me? Well, do they know that there's nothing I wouldn't do to help them? And if they don't, well, that could be something you could start with, right? Is get to know the folks around you. And I think, leadership-wise within your organization, your company, your business, whatever you're doing, the same is true, right? Get to know your people. Get to know their strengths. Study your people, because you can play to those strengths and you can bring order, if you will, to your organization in that way. I think what we're seeing a lot of, certainly in a lot of the major metropolitan areas around the country, in the communities, is garage door goes up, car goes in, door goes down. Hey, Bob, Joe, right? You never get to know them. You don't know who they are, what they like, what they don't like. I mean, you just don't know them. And so what I'm saying is, I think that we are hardwired for community, and that I think if we will take the time to get to know each other, be civil, we can see each other in a different light. And I think that dignity and respect that we all desire, that as we model that, right, that we can just make it a little better today than it was yesterday, right? I'm not on to a utopian thought, right? A lot of, I think the kind of utopian thoughts are dangerous. And historically, that's been true, right? So all I'm saying is, within our own sphere, the people we know and are a part of, can we make that a more civil, better dialogue, create more dignity and respect in our own spheres?